Hey guys, what's up? It's B-Rod here, and Season 1 just kicked off in Diablo 4, and so today we're going to take a look at Season 1 and kind of take a look at what you need to do to get kick-started and what you should be looking out for. So the first things you want to do when you log in is, I've already done this, but what you need to do is you need to log into your main character that you've progressed all of the Lilith altars on and all of your world exploration. And once you log into those characters, then all that data will sync to the rest of your characters on the same account. So after you do that, then go ahead and create a season character. And as soon as you log into your season character, you're going to notice that you don't have any of your rep rewards or any of your renown stuff. So you need to open your map and go to the rewards section. And for each tab here, you should have 2 to claim as long as you've completed all of your Lilith altars and all of your areas discovered in your waypoints. Or your waypoints actually do not transfer, my mistake. So as long as you've done all your areas discover and your Lilith altars, you'll have at least your first 2 renowns covered, and you'll have to grind the rest every season. So after you have that out of the way, the next things you'll notice is there's a seasonal story arc and seasonal events that you need to complete to progress throughout the season. And on PC, the hotkey is U. And so what you'll see here is these are some of the seasonal cosmetics. I did go ahead and get the battle pass because I pre-ordered the game, and so I had the first battle pass with that. But if you didn't, on the free tier, you will only receive these items that are free as you progress throughout the season. But if you go ahead and buy the battle pass, you obviously get everything. Kind of lame, I know, but they have to monetize the game somehow, and it's Blizzard, so our $70 wasn't enough. So the other things that you'll notice here in this tab is the seasonal journey. And so I have chapter 1 started. I've logged in, and you can see the other video on my channel, the first 30 minutes of gameplay. That's all I've done here. So in the first 30 minutes, you can kind of see the progress I've already made in chapter 1. And so it has a few things for you to do. There's some collection things here. There's I had to collect the Malignant Heart, and that's part of the story. They kind of walk you through what Malignant Hearts are and how they function, and we'll take a look at that here shortly. And then I have to go to a dungeon, so we'll do that, and we'll go search for some Malignant Hearts here shortly. And you can just kind of look through the rest of the list here. There's certain quests you have to do, certain things you have to do to progress the story through chapters. So after chapter 1, I get these chapter rewards down below. So some nice legendary aspects. You get a cache, and you get some favor. Not really sure what the favor is used for yet. It says it's used for unlocking battle pass reward tiers, so I'm not sure after you progress through the battle pass if you need favor then also to then go ahead and purchase stuff, or if you can advance through the season faster by favor. Anyone knows, please post in the comments. It's all new to us. So as we go through here, there's different chapters, and you can see what each chapter rewards are. And then you get to Slayer, Champion, and Destroyer. And so obviously the goal is to complete all the way through Destroyer. At the very end, you'll get a 7th Journey cache. You'll get a player title of Wrathful and Heart. So pretty cool. Definitely nice to have new stuff to do. I know the patch leading up to this was very disappointing, everyone, with all the nerfs, but it's nice to have something new here, and it's nice to have something fun to look at. There's also these seasonal blessings, and these you get these smoldering ashes, and then you're able to unlock these bonuses. It looks like So we'll have to take a look at that later on as the season progresses. Okay, guys, so let's take a look at the vendor for the Malignant Hearts and kind of what you have to do here. So, as you can see, I've got a few caged hearts. You get these caged hearts by traveling to seasonal dungeons. So if you open the map, you'll notice this new leaf icon. So this is the new workbench, and this is where you do your malignant research. So this is where you do your salvaging and crafting of items for the season. But if you come out here to the world map, you'll see dungeons, and dungeons will also have this leaf on that. And that means that it's seasonal content. So here you can see that it says it has malignant enemies. And so there's elites that convey hearts, and so that's what you want to collect to salvage or to put into your jewelry sockets. The ones that you salvage, though, you come to this workbench and you craft an item, and that item is then needed to take on that outgrowth that is mentioned in this description. So the outgrowth will be, it's kind of random at the end of the dungeon what type of outgrowth it will be, and so you have to have the correct items to encounter the correct outgrowth. So it's important to make sure that you come here and you salvage any malignant hearts that you don't need. So we'll take a look here, and I'm gonna salvage mine now. So this is pretty interesting for a necromancer. This right here seems like it will either do corpse tendrils or corpse explosion just by walking around, but you do have to have the skill on your bar, it says, for this part. You can see I've equipped one here that gives me Decrepify when there's at least 4 enemies near me, and so when we go into the dungeon, you'll see Decrepify just kind of be an aura around me. It's very nice because I don't have to have the skill on my bar, and I'm sure there's going to be builds that still spec into the Decrepify enhancements, but you don't have to put on your bar anymore. So that kind of gives extra build diversity, and if there's a lot of that in the season, then that's a very welcome thing. This other one I have here generates a barrier. So let's start salvaging. So I'm not going to use this now. Here's one that looks like it'd be good for a sorcerer. Same thing. This is an upgrade to the barrier generation one I have. I could equip this into my jewelry and upgrade it, but it's not that big of an upgrade, so I'm just going to salvage it anyways and get the materials, because we're going to use these in a second. Okay, so now after you've salvaged your caged hearts, you can do a few things. So I could now craft a brutal caged heart, and what this will do is this will give me a brutal caged heart with a random affix on it. So pretty nice. But you can also craft these malignant invokers, and so these are what you need to take on the outcroppings at the end of the dungeons. So this is what I'm going to spend my materials on. I haven't actually completed an outcropping yet because I've never had the proper invoker item for it. So now we have 2. We have a devious and we have a brutal. So we should hopefully be able to do an outcropping. So let's go ahead and pop open the map, and we're just going to find a random dungeon with seasonal content. Once again, it's got the leaf on it, and we're going to head out. Alright, so we made it to the dungeon, and as you can see here, in the corner we have the objectives. These are very similar to Nightmare Dungeons, except you can start them right at level 1 in the season. You don't have to progress through any world tiers or anything like that. And so we have to slay the malignant ghouls. And so the malignant ghouls will be two elites that will drop items that will then spawn another elite that can then drop a malignant heart. So let's get to it. Okay, so here is where I spawn. So I spawned the elite, he dropped the cage heart. So this one happens to be inflict fear for 2 seconds. Feared enemies are chilled for 20% every second. I don't know that I want to equip that because that sounds annoying. I don't want enemies running from me. Spawn movie. Okay, so it says dungeon complete, but it's not really complete. So as you see here, I've got this section here that I haven't explored. That's where the Malignant Outcropping is going to be. So what I want to do is I want to continue forward. Let's go to the Malignant Outcropping. Here it is. So as you can see, there's two outgrowths. There's a Wrathful outgrowth and a Devious outgrowth. If we look at my consumables, I happen to have a Devious Invoker. So if I click on the Wrathful outgrowth, it tells me I can't proceed. If I click on the Devious one, here we go. Let's see what happens. Looks like just another elite. Quick work. And so I guess it's just a bonus heart at the end of the dungeon is what it looks like. I wonder if it's a better heart. Let's take a look. So it does appear that the item power is, actually the item power is not any better. It's 175 versus 182, but it does have a better effect on it. So it's a higher roll, but not necessarily higher item power. So that's the season event. It looks like really we're going to be going dungeon after dungeon, and it's really just a 3-step formula. Step 1, defeat the elites. Step 2, defeat the boss. Step 3, do the outcropping if you happen to have the items to do so. And so that's what we'll be doing throughout the season, collecting Malignant Hearts and leveling up. So, until next time, thanks.